welcome to our Monday moment this week. I hope you're having a fab day so far. And yeah, I just want to say thanks to everyone who took part in the fundraiser. We've done an amazing job and we've raised about £2,500 for Gogo Olive. Over 3,000 when you add in the gift aid. So fantastic job everyone. Give yourselves a pat in the back. So yeah, this week we're going to be looking at the theme of listening to God. And so I don't know about you, but for a long time this topic really confused me because, you know, I've never heard an audible voice, and you would have people come up to the front of the church and they would say, oh, I think God's saying this, or people might pray for you and they pass on a message that they think God said, and you think, well, that's never happened to me. Like, I don't quite understand how this happens. And for me, I think I was expecting some big dramatic, like, booming voice saying, Kenneth, you are my son, or something like that. But actually, what we're going to be looking at this week is that we believe that God speaks to all of us, and he speaks to us in a very personal way, in a very ordinary way, in a way that we can relate, because we're all unique. But you know, God loves each of us and he wants to have a relationship with each of us. And Jesus says that you're my friends, and he wants to have that relationship like a friend, that he can speak to us, that he can tell us what he cares about, can tell us what he's thinking. So we're going to be looking at the idea of like God speaking to us and how we might do that. So we're going to look at the story of Samuel in the Old Testament in 1 Samuel chapter 3, when Samuel first hears God's voice. We'll pick up the story at verse 8. So a third time the Lord called Samuel, and Samuel got up and went to Eli and said, Here I am, you called me. Then Eli realized that the Lord was calling the boy. So Eli told Samuel, Go and lie down, and if he calls you, say, Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening. So Samuel went and lay down in his place. The Lord came and stood there, calling as the other times, Samuel, Samuel. Then Samuel said, Speak, for your servant is listening. So in this story, basically what's happened is this boy Samuel's been hearing this voice calling his name. He thinks it's the older priest, Eli, but he says, no, it's not me, go back to bed. And it keeps on happening, and eventually Eli clocks that, oh wait, I think this might be God. And so if it happens again, you know, respond, Lord, your servant is listening. And so in this story, he basically, it's not immediately recognisable that it's God that's calling Samuel. And so in our lives, sometimes it's not immediately recognisable that it's God speaking to us. But are we listening? The question I want to leave you with for this week to think about is, do you spend time listening to God's voice? Do you spend time listening for it? You know, they always say, like, you don't recognise a friend's voice unless you spend time getting to know it. So do you spend that time? That's a challenge for you. Maybe it's a food for thought. But, you know, we'll unpack the idea more on Wednesday on our Facebook Live, and then on Upper Zoom as well on Friday night. I'm really looking forward to seeing you there. Take care, guys. Stay blessed. Bye.